some of the early reviews from He-Man are in, and they are absolutely mixed. They're mixed. I'm interrupting my little rant mid-sentence again. Who am I? I'm Mecha. I am not Geeky Sparkles. I wish I was sometimes. She's cool. We're talking about He-Man. I'm a YouTube consumer advocate here, and the more I realize how much I liked He-Man and She-Ra as a kid, the more disappointed I am by them bringing back more stuff from the 80s. You can tell I'm older than I look, by the way. I'm disappointed they keep bringing back stuff when they're just gonna, desecrate it? They're just gonna, give us a bad something? A bad reboot, a bad version of it. We have some early reviews there, and they're very mixed. There's some very reasonably bad ones, and there's some very oddly worded good ones. First up, the first review, sort of. Now, I don't think any of these really have any spoilers in them. The first one from independent.ie. I have no idea who. Oh, Dublin. So this is an Irish site. It says Dublin. It is 23.9 degrees Celsius in Dublin today. Streaming reviews, cringe sketch show, and a He-Man reboot that sorely needs the power of Grayskull. Just the headline. So this person has reviewed a couple of series here. So the He-Man show, and now I'm gonna just say He-Man looks a little off. His head's too small, but I guess he's supposed to be really big and burly. This new animation and the new character designs are one of the things that's kind of like, you're not trying to actually make He-Man, are you? You're just trying to do something else. It was with huge trepidation that I started watching the new He-Man reboot, Masters of the Universe Revelation. I was basically raised on the original cartoon in the 1980s. This is the reviewer I want to hear from. I never wanted anything as much as I wanted those toy figures. To this day, I will sneak a look at the opening scenes on YouTube if I need a nourishing pick-me-up of nostalgia. I've actually also been watching clips of the original to remind myself of how I liked Orko, how much I liked Orko, how fun a lot of these shows were. Like, they were just fun, nostalgic 80s. And anybody who's been following me on Twitter or Instagram or anything knows I've been buying all the He-Man toys because they remind me of the 80s. And yes, I do enjoy that aspect of it. If Netflix thought they could reimagine my childhood obsession, they better have a good reason. That's really it, isn't it? Why are you bothering? Just bring out the toy line and let us buy that. Why do you have to make a tie-in series? Why do you have to do all of these things? Why do you have to reboot and reimagine and continue? It was fine the way it was. And oh, the horror. Firstly, the new artwork is nothing short of a desecration. Wow, he calls it a desecration. See, I was going to be a little nicer and say, okay, it's updated. It looks a little more anime style. All right. It's much more intricately drawn, and the actual animation is more fluid and modern, but the aesthetic is tattoo parlor art meets anime, and the CGI leeches all the warmth from the drawings. Ooh. The shimmering, thunderous theme music has been replaced by something totally forgettable. Oh, that's annoying. I'm not going to be too thrilled with that one. And while I could have conceivably tapped the original voice talent, John Irwin, who did He-Man and a few other characters, is still alive. They've instead pumped for famous names like Sarah Michelle Gellar and Mark Hamill. It has more adult themes and complicated plots than had ever been seen in the original, and its cleverness means there is no comforting layer of cheese. He-Man doesn't appear at the end to give you avuncular pep talk. I'm not used to that word. It took me aback for a second. I'm taken aback by avuncular. Director Kevin Smith has cited the movie Akira, which trusts children grow up and deal with real adult truths as an influence. But going this far from the source material dims the nostalgia, which has to be the hook. There you go. That is the review I want to take seriously. Now I'm not looking forward to this. We got some good ones and some bad ones. Now I'm going to save the most damaging one for the very end. So keep watching the video. There's one that really is just the clinker. It's the linchpin. Is that what the word I'm looking for? I don't know. It's the one that'll tell you whether you want to watch the show or not. Here's a positive review though. We got a positive review. It's the subversive revival that He-Man deserves. Now, if you want to use the word subversive, as in it subverts your expectations, where did we hear that before, Last Crapping Jedi? If that is your idea of how to positively move forward with He-Man, and you can't stand the cheese and the nostalgia and the fun and really, really absolutely hate He-Man, this might be the show for you. The Netflix Masters of the Universe Revelation Part 1. See, I'm getting angrier as I read this. I wasn't going to be this animated and angry and upset reading these reviews, but for crying out loud, this is what they said about The Last Jedi. Before Marvel and Warner Brothers dominated the global box office with their respective cinematic universes, fans of a certain age turned to animated TV shows to get their non-comic book superhero fix. Such franchises fueled by nostalgia of present-day industry veterans have since been rebooted into varying degrees of success. Basically, this just is simping for. It's breaking down why they brought it back. Both longtime fans and newcomers then will be pleased to read that Masters of the Universe Revelation is not only superbly animated, action-packed, and a heartfelt revival of the series, but one that's a surprisingly subversive reinvention of the original formula. Direct sequel, actually it's really not, it's a spiritual sequel. Revelation follows the adventures of He-Man, Teela, and other Castle Grayskull guardians as they attempt to fend off another attack from Skeletor. However, when a cataclysmic event, yada yada. Alright, so these guys are seemingly more simping for it. This is going to have a few spoilers too, so if you don't want it to be spoiled, then don't watch any more of this, but watch to the end till you see, oh, that's the big clinker, isn't it? Or the clincher. Subversion doesn't end with a series plot either. Unlike the 80s animated show, He-Man fans have noticed that the titular character's name isn't part of Revelation. It's with good reason. Taking a page out of the Netflix He-Man animated spin-off series She-Ra, it installs Teela, a female character, as its fucking protagonist. There's another article. I didn't know they spoiled it in this one, but this one they're like, see, it's such a good thing. We already had fucking She-Ra. We already have She-Ra. We already have a good She-Ra and a shitty She-Ra that's all about self-insert fanfic for girls who are too to actually attract another girl, or a man for that matter. And this crap, and I'm not allowed to say that. Now I'm going to be canceled for it. This one is all about crapping Teela. All about Teela. Now, I just did a video last night calling out Kevin Smith for basically gaslighting us. Gizmodo. It's a fan's dream, an asterisk at the end, often satisfying, occasionally baffling, and meaningless to anyone who isn't already interested in He-Man. Even the two positive reviews here are negative reviews, and I think that's going to be the kicker here. Do you want an actual continuation of the He-Man that we grew up on? And I know there's the 2000 one that I didn't watch. I'm going to be very disappointed if the show that I'm going back and rewatching all the clips of on YouTube to get in the mood for this is completely different than whatever we're getting, and I think that's what we're getting, and I don't want to be such a hater on everything, but for crying out loud, when we have this type of stuff, when we have this marketing, I think they're just mad that it got leaked. I really do. I think they're mad it got leaked. We know that the people behind the scenes at Netflix have these discussions of, oh, there's too many white dudes, so we know they're already thinking this. And the fact that they have to, oh, there was a little bit more too. Apparently Sarah Michelle Gellar wasn't even a fan of the original. And I'll pull that up, and now she's like, oh, well, we need a Teela show all of a sudden, because we didn't have that. Yes, we did. We had She-Ra. That's the whole fucking purpose of having She-Ra. Once He-Man and She-Ra kind of ran their course, I moved up to Gem and the Holograms, but we didn't need you to change He-Man. There was nothing ever saying, hey, as a girl, I didn't feel represented. No, we had it. We had it with She-Ra. We had all these things. You don't need a crapping He-Man series to take a giant crap all over He-Man, making him just an afterthought in the side of his own freaking show. Basically, this is Teela's show. After Revelation opens us by taking us beyond where we thought He-Man mythos could go, while also making fun callbacks to both the original series and the movie, it becomes an epic odyssey about loss, redemption, and sacrifice. A new ragtag team of champions formed of both heroes and villains is tasked with returning magic to Eternia and saving the universe. Lifelong enemies work together, which we already kind of saw in the trailer, operating under different sets of priorities and motivations. And it all culminates in a wicked game-changing cliffhanger that nicely sets up the back half of the season, which will be released at a later date. Revelation takes some big swings, but it also still spares time for smaller moments of sentiment. So it's like they like it, but they don't. But it is all about crapping Teela. He takes a backseat in his own movie. It's a Teela show. Revelation can enact both a stunning sequel and a wondrous what-if type of spinoff for those viewers unwilling to accept some choices as pure canon. And like I said, even the positive reviews, they say, if you're not a fan of He-Man, I have no idea what you'll think of Masters of the Universe. I don't know what you'll get out of it, or if you get anything at all. This show has been touted as a sequel to the classic cartoon, a spiritual sequel that they like to clarify now, which means there's very little on-ramp for new viewers to get into the franchise. Admittedly, it's not a difficult premise to wrap your head around, because Revelation is extremely devoted to the original series, which was made for kids. In fact, the first episode feels like it could be from the 80s, with better art. So even the positive reviews are like, okay, but who the hell is it for? Well, it's for us to be bait and switched and marketed to, just to what? To tell a nothing story that you guys shouldn't even be telling in the first place. That's just gonna, ruin anybody's memory of the show. Oh, it's not gonna ruin your childhood. You know what? You can't ruin my childhood by making a new show, but you can piss me off as a viewer, and you can insult my intelligence as an audience member. And what you can do is you can make damn sure that we're going to remember this the next time you lie to our faces and say, oh, no, it's for you, it's for you, it's for you. And if you can't actually deliver us something without somebody's favorite character getting ruined or destroyed, then maybe you shouldn't be rebooting and reimagining these old franchises. Not everything's going to be a Cobra Kai. For every Cobra Kai out there, there's 7,000 Gem the fucking Holograms reboots, or She-Ra from the Netflix one with Noelle Stevens. There's a million of those. And yeah, they even did bring back Gem and the Holograms. That's when I should have started talking about this crap. I'm Mecha. And I'm not happy about how they're treating He-Man. I'm Mecha. Tell me what you guys think. And I'll probably have to watch this. See you guys later. Bye. Thanks for watching. If you liked it, make sure to hit that like button. And if you want to see more, don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next video. Bye.